Trinesha Catrell.
Hi, this is Trinesha Catrell, and welcome to First Love Yourself, where love, life, and Christ combine. I am so grateful to have you here on this journey of self-discovery and empowerment with me. In today's video, we're going to talk about optimism. But before we get started, if you're new here, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on more uplifting and empowering content like this. So get comfortable because we are about to get into it. Let's go. Okay. So earlier today, I was listening to a sermon, and as I'm listening to the sermon, I'm sorry, I just got finished working out, and I was going to wait until afterwards and do a whole thing and everything else. But by the time I finished doing that, it would be super duper late, and so I didn't want to hop on here too late. So that's why I'm on here now, in the midst of after a workout with the herring. But anyways, so I was listening to a sermon earlier today, and the pastor was talking about optimism, and he said that it's all about changing our mindsets, because sometimes God will tell us to do something and we will be hesitant about the steps that we want to make in our life, because we'll make up every excuse in the book for the reasons why we can't accomplish the things that God put on our heart for us to do. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so true. When God, his example was, when God tells you to write the book, you start talking about how you don't know a publisher, you don't have anything to say, you don't know what to write, all these things. And he really was stepping on my toes, because when God told me to write my book, that's the exact same thing that I said. I was like, I'm not a writer. I don't know. Like, I don't have anything to say. Who is going to buy my book? Like, it was a bunch of negative, pessimistic thoughts that just flooded my mind, making me believe that I really couldn't do it. And the whole time, if God is saying that you can do something, He is qualifying you for the position that He's preparing you for. Sorry. And so sometimes we get so beside ourselves, thinking that it's really on our own will, but really it's God's will that will allow us to be able to do the things that we need to do in life. So while you're sitting there, think of the thing that God has told you to do, or the thing that you just in your intuition is telling you, I really, really should do this thing. I really, really should write this book. I really, really should throw this women's event. I really, really should. And not just a good idea. I mean, something that is really on your heart, that is like something is pushing you to do it. And think of all the reasons why you can do it, instead of thinking of all the negative reasons why you can't accomplish the thing that you should be doing. Think of all the positive things, the positive outcome of you writing this book about your testimony, or a book that can help hundreds of thousands of people, or millions of people, or people all the way around the world. Think of the fact that this women's convention, or whatever it is that you're throwing, could actually help all these other business owners, other people market, other people network. It can help so many people have an opportunity that they would have never had if you didn't obey God. And sometimes we forget that other people's blessings are contingent on our obedience. And so we'll feel like, well, if I don't do it, it'll be fine. Ain't nobody checking for me anyways. And the whole time people are checking for you. The reason why God gifted you to do that thing, the reason why God put it on your spirit for you to open this business, or to start this business, or write this book, or whatever else it is that He's telling you to do, is because somebody else is praying for the thing that God positioned you for. Somebody else is praying for a book that allows them to not feel alone, so they don't feel like the only dark-skinned woman that has ever been, bullied or treated a certain type of way because of their complexion or their skin tone, or being being marginalized, or or being talked about, being mistreated, whatever else it is. Sometimes we could feel like we're the only person who is going through something in life, and when you let someone know that they're not alone, it makes the journey a little bit easier. We don't even realize that, but it's not about us. It's not about us looking good. Like, oh no, I don't want people to think I'm all that if I throw this event and it's successful, and then people will talk about me. People talked about Jesus, so obviously they're going to talk about you. People will always talk about something. So why not do something positive that in your heart posture is in a good place. You know that you are trying to help people. You know that you can help people. Why not do something like that that can benefit the community, that can benefit other women, that can benefit the people around you, regardless of what anybody else thinks? I, sometimes I get in these moods where I'll be like, oh, well, what is this person going to think? And then I have to remind myself, am I living for this person, or am I living for myself? Because if I truly want to be happy, if this friend that I have, like, let's say we've been friends since high school, and she's like the coolest, best person ever, regardless of what anybody else thinks, if she is kind and she's exhibiting the fruits of the spirit and treats me like a good friend, then why would I not want to be friends with somebody like that? If I meet a guy and he is treating me well, why would I not want to be a guy with a guy like that? If I'm in a job and they appreciate me as an employee, why would I not want to continue to work there, regardless of what the position is or where I'm working? What sometimes we spend so much time thinking about what other people think that we forget about our own happiness. We forget about the things that bring us joy, the things that make us smile, the things that really help us be more positive in life. Some of the best days that I have is just me being goofy and silly. And it's funny because I would talk to people in the past and they would say, "Oh, if you do this, people are going to think you're crazy. If you do this, people are going to look at you this way. Oh, what about what other people think?" I don't care what anybody else thinks if my heart is in the right place at all. And I'm not going to say I've always felt that way. In the past, I have cared about what people think and stuff like that. I care about people in general. But when it comes to people's opinions, everybody has one. So if I'm doing cartwheels in the living room and I'm however old I am, I'm gonna do cartwheels in the living room if that makes me smile. If I like test driving a car like a Ferrari and doing donuts or something and people think that's silly and it brings me joy, I'm probably gonna do donuts in a Ferrari. If if I like to do handstands in the living room because it just tightens my core and it makes me feel really happy and positive and just like it really brings joy to me or brings happiness to me, brings a smile to my face, regardless of what anybody else thinks, I'm probably going to do handstands. If I know that as a kid I used to skate all the time and I like skating, I'm probably going to go skating even if I'm the only adult on the skating floor. You have to do in life what makes you better, what is makes you happy, and you are actually trying to be a better person. You have to do the things that exhibit Christ-like characteristics. You have to do the things that are actually allowing you to enjoy your life. And I know one thing, you definitely cannot enjoy your life by being pessimistic. And when I say that, I mean always talking about the negative stuff. Oh, I can't never write a book. Oh, I ain't never gonna find somebody that's gonna treat me right. Oh, I can't make $1 million. Oh, I can't drive my dream car. Oh, I can't have a house like that in a neighborhood like that with a car like that. And it's not about material objects, it's about you believing in yourself. It's about you stopping allowing people around you to tell you what you can't do and believing what you can do. Believing that and knowing that if everything else seems impossible with you, it's possible with God. Sometimes we forget and we think that our life only consists of the things that we can touch right now, when there are so many other things in our life that are outside of our reach that God can touch and bring to us. Sometimes we spend so much time, and I said this over the weekend, and I thought I might repeat it in this. It might not be that important. But it was something like along the lines of, and I'm paraphrasing, I would be rather be respected than selected. Sometimes we are sitting around spending so much time trying to receive someone else's good or approval of who we are, or someone's thumbs up of them acknowledging us or letting us know that we're worthy or valuable, when the whole time God already said we were worthy because he created us. He knew us before we were formed in our mother's womb. He created us to be the person that we are now at our best. And it's just our job to be obedient and to be willing to obey God's commands, to be willing to walk in the way that God wants us to walk in life. And sometimes we feel like, well, this is my life. I do whatever I want. How is that serving you? How is that serving the community? How is that serving the people around you? How is that serving the kingdom of God? When you are being selfish and you're doing things that only benefit you, and this is not just about you being happy, but when you're really doing something that is about your future, that's about your legacy, that is about the things that God wants you to do in life, are you really fulfilled in your life when you do things that are selfish? Only selfishly for you, only thinking about yourself, only about temporary fulfillment, only about what you can get right now. Like when you get that lick back, does it really feel good long term? My answer is no. When I would in the past be super immature and I'd always have to get my last lick back, I would feel so horrible afterwards. Like right at the beginning, I'd be like, oh yeah. Like I'd be all hyped up, like, oh yes. And then afterwards, I feel like crap. Like I really would feel so bad inside. Like, dang, why did I even do that? That don't even make no sense for me to make a decision like that in life. Why would I choose to do something like that? And then the more I started to learn more about God, the more I started to read the Bible, the more I started to learn that vengeance is God's. It's not mine. It's not my job to punish somebody else for the decisions that they made in life. It's my job to make standards and boundaries so that I can make sure that I'm treated well in my life. But it is not my job to go out of my way to get a lick back to somebody when they're gonna get theirs regardless. And I don't mean it in like I'm trying to go hard or anything like that. I just mean that sometimes we spend so much energy towards someone else when they will learn in their own time. They are on their own journey. It's not up to us to live their life for them. We can only control what we control. We can only control our mindset while we think positively and go for the things that we want in life. While we reach a goal or set goals in our life that we want to accomplish. While we focus on God and try to really go for the things that God is intending for us to do in life. When we are really putting one foot in front of the other and not giving up, not stopping, not looking over what somebody else is doing to try to see if we are at somebody else's level when we need to be at our highest level. It's not about anybody else and being in competition with somebody. It is about us being our best selves so that we can be out here killing it. So we could be out here leveling up so we could be that person. And you can't be that person looking at anybody else because everybody else is in another period of their life. That's it. Like it's it's up to you to say I'm going to be optimistic about my life. I want to do amazing things. I want to accomplish everything that I set my mind to. I want to live the life of my dreams, not to be pessimistic and think about all the ways that everything can go wrong. Just like you could say, oh, well, I can't do this because this will happen. It's the same way you could say, I can do this because this could happen. Like, imagine this type of life right here. I'm about to be, what? Like, I thought I was living right here, but really I'm living up here. And so, when you really want to go for the life of your dreams, you have to be optimistic. You have to have faith, even the size of a mustard seed. You have to be able to say, I'm going to accomplish it regardless of what anybody else thinks. Like everybody's gonna have an opinion and God bless them. But I'm gonna be about mine. I'm gonna do what I need to do in my life because I'm trying to live my best life. I'm trying to live a life of fulfillment. I'm trying to make sure that when I leave this earth, my biggest fear ever is to leave earth and I left something on the table, or I go to heaven and God pulls out this long scroll and it's showing 150 things, 150,000 things that he was going to bless me with, but I stopped myself because I was being negative, because I didn't believe in myself, because I didn't think that my God could accomplish all the amazing things that he can accomplish. Like I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And sometimes we forget that because we get so beside ourselves, because we get so arrogant, because we really feel like it relies on us when it relies on God. We can only control what we do, not what anybody else does. And we just have to keep the faith and knowing that God can allow you to accomplish everything. Everything you set your mind to, you could do. Get out of your own way. Stop doubting yourself. Stop sleeping on yourself. Stop thinking that you're not that person because you are. Always believe in the person that you are and the person that you were created to be, and you can accomplish anything. So, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys on Friday. I'm gonna try to send out a short this week, and I got like a little special thing, like a little montage thing with some voiceover that I'm gonna put on my short and everything else. But yeah, I will be here on Friday, God willing, and it might be either early or super late because I got this event on Friday that I gotta go to. But God bless. Have an amazing night, and always remember to first love yourself. Bye.